Hello, thanks for joining me. I want to talk to you today about WIPGO 2023. You're here by invitation from our Facebook group, What's Under Your Needle. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being a member of the group for a very long time and for new people. The more the merrier. The thing about WIPGO is it's a way to stay organized and keep you motivated to get those projects done that you really want done for 2023. Because, for some reason, I don't know how it happens, but we feel so guilty about not finishing what we started. If you're like me, there's a lot of excitement in trying something new, starting a new project, but then I sort of kind of fall off on the enthusiasm. And then I'm stuck with a project that I really do want to finish, but I'm on to the next exciting thing. And what happens is that just leaves me with a lot of projects that I really want finished, but they are not. They're in a project box. And one thing about having a very small sewing space is that you find yourself rearranging quite frequently. And I realized I keep moving the same project boxes. I can't do that anymore. I need more space. So anyway, I found this program, WIPGO. WIPS is Works in Progress, and then Go. It's a bingo for stitchers. And I found it on YouTube, a group that uses it for doing cross stitch, which I've dabbled into over these past couple of years. And it was really a nice program. I liked how it worked. And then I just tweaked it a little bit to follow, to kind of do it the way I think I would like to do it for me, for myself, and then I hope for you as quilters. Now, I'm also a stitcher of many different kinds. I like to say I'm a quilter at heart because if I stay away from quilting a long time, it calls me back. It always calls me back. And I just love quilting. I've been quilting for 25 years, probably not as long as some of you. I have a lot of quilts. I have a lot of quilt tops waiting to be quilted. And when I say a lot, I do mean like more than 40, like a lot. As a shop owner, we would make samples a lot, and sometimes they didn't always get quilted. A lot of times they didn't always get quilted. And then just being a quilter, I love the piecing part of it. And then the layering and the machine quilting part of it is where I sort of, I'm done with this. I have found the joy that I needed to find. And so anyway, I have these quilt tops stacked up. Hopefully, you do some of your own quilting and you can get them done, or you take them to a long arm quilter, whatever it might be. Back to WIPGO. I'm a stitcher of many different kinds, as I said, and one of the things I discovered recently was cross stitch. A couple years ago. Oh my gosh, it takes so long to do maybe a 1-inch square of cross stitches compared to a stack of quilt blocks. So it's different. It's a different passion. It's a different joy. So I have quilting. I have cross stitch. And one of my most, the thing I love the most recently, I guess that's a good way to say it, a few years ago, I discovered Sue Spargo. And I took a trip to, a little bit of a story, a little bit of history. I took a trip to Ohio to visit my friend who moved there. We went on a day trip from Troy, Ohio, out to Akron, where Sue Spargo's store is. And that was 1 year ago in October, where we went cuckoo birds and got all kinds of projects, all kinds of threads, and here we are. And then after that, we also signed up to do a block of the month. And then I bought another thing, and okay. So there's my third joy. So it's wool applique combined with hand embroidery, hand embroidery, and very gorgeous threads and what do you want to call it? Embellishments and yummy stuff. Okay, so quilting, cross stitch, Seuss Spargo's wool applique with fancy embellishments and embroidery stitching. I crochet, not a lot, but enough. It's a good winter thing for me because I can sit on the couch because there's a lot more couch time because of the weather. And I like to just keep my hands busy. If you're crocheting, you can't eat. That's sort of my little thing. Yeah, no snacking. And then there's just a bunch of other stuff that might come up, like I do a machine applique. I joined another block of the month that was machine applique, and then all the pieces were laser cut, blah, blah, blah. I have a lot of things that I really enjoy doing. So my WIP Go board is not going to be just for quilting. So let's go back to the first assignment I gave you, which was to sort through all those projects and come up with the few that you really want to accomplish in 2023. Okay, so I gave you a document that looks like this, right? It has a lot of lines and a lot of places for you to write your projects, and you can also put more details in there. And hopefully you've had enough time to go through all of your desired accomplishments for 2023, and you've listed them on your board, on your project sheet. And you can see here, I have mine listed. I have a project name, I have details about what it is I want to accomplish, and then I have WIP Go board number. So the board number is going to be from 1 to 25, and so I went ahead and put all my numbers down here. It doesn't matter if you put them in order because every month you're going to get 2 numbers that are selected at random, so you don't know what they're going to be. Now, if you take a look down here, you're also going to see I crossed out what I had on number 13. And the reason for that is our WIP Go board looks like this. And you can see that number 13 is in the center, and that's a free space. Kind of a little bit from the original bingo, but you'll also notice that you don't have like W1 or W11 and so on. It'll just be numbers from 1 to 25 in a bingo style format. And then every month I'm going to call 2 numbers. You would then look at the number that coordinates with the month. And then I'll show you my board that I have all filled out. If I call number 3 for January, for example, my project is Jen Kingwell Bowie Star. So on my detailed sheet, I have written Jen Kingwell, block of the month, Bowie Star, cut the alternating diamonds and assemble. That's what I put for my accomplishment on that project. And then I would continue through the year calling 2 numbers. 12 months, 2 numbers is 24. Well, a bingo board has 25 blocks, and so we have 13, the free space. So the month that 13 is called, whenever it's called, I'm going to call 3 numbers that month. Now, in 13, you can use to catch up. Maybe you fell behind a little. Life certainly takes priority over your hobbies, as we know. And you could use it to catch up. You could use it as a reward. Like, oh, let's take a road trip with a stitchy friend. Open a new jelly roll and start another block, another project. Fill another box. It could be whatever it is you want. And so that's basically how the program's going to work. And I think it's going to be a really fun way to build a nice community of stitchy friends. One of the things that I have felt missing now that I'm retired, I closed my quilt shop. I'm no longer running my monthly retreats, my socations. So I've retired out of all of that, and it sort of leaves you hanging all by yourself sometimes. And although I have stitchy friends, it's nice to have something that pulls us all together. So I'm really hoping that that is what I get out of WIP Go 2023. But the other rewarding part for me is going to know that I helped you get your project boxes emptied and make room for new projects. So your projects each month do not have to be to finish something. You are the boss of your WIPGO board. If you feel you want to put a WIPGO box that says start a new project and you put the name of the project, do it. On my WIPGO board, for example, I wanted to create new things, but I didn't want to get too far ahead with projects. So I did one of the most fun things that I've been doing for a couple of years now is I participate in Debbie Brown's color blocks. And so on my WIPGO board, on number 24 and 25, it says color blocks make 20. So I just get to have fun with fabric and stitch 20 color blocks and put them aside. And you know what? If I feel like sewing more, I will. So it's going to be fun. Fun. I hope I explained it well enough for you. Couple things to keep in mind. Make a list of your projects. Assign them a number that coordinates with the WIPGO board. I'll call 2 numbers for a month. I'm going to call those numbers on the 28th of the month prior. So December 28th, I will be calling 2 numbers. And those are going to be your numbers for January. The other thing to remember is if I call 13, number 13 shows up in the random numbers being called, I will pull a 3rd number for that month. That way we have all of our board filled out by the time we get to December. Most important thing, no guilt, no pressure to get those projects done. Just because you wrote them in ink on a board to help yourself stay motivated and organized doesn't mean you can't change it. And you probably will, because if this is the first time you're doing it, and it is the first time I'm doing WIPGO 2023, I might find that I need to tweak things a little. Everybody has a different amount of free time to sew. Not everybody's retired, not everybody's working, not everybody likes to stitch that much. I know so many friends that as soon as the nice weather comes, they're in the garden. Don't like bugs, don't like dirt. So I'm not in the garden. I currently don't do much charity volunteering because I do take care of the kids. So I do have a lot of home time. And so I do sew more than most people. And I'm happy about it. But, you know, things do come up, plans change, you have to do what you have to do. And so I may need the flexibility of being able to change the board, and I will. The other thing to remember is to show your progress. We have a group, What's Under Your Needle, to answer just that question. What's under your needle? I know it's under mine. I want motivation, I want excitement, I want to see you accomplish things. So I invite you to please post your projects on our group, leave updates, just participate. Participate in whatever capacity you can and find your stitching joy. That's my thing, stitching joy. If you are on Instagram, you can follow me at Gina Zalesnak. I know it's hard to spell. I'll put a link. And if you are on Instagram, you can post your progress with the hashtag WUYN. So what's W under you, your YN needle, WIPGO 2023. It's a big hashtag. You have copy and paste, you'll be fine. But you can post your progress there. Love to see it. So that concludes my little speech about getting you started. I want you to enjoy yourself and have fun and get some stuff done. Until next time, let me know what's under your needle. I can't wait to see it. What happened?